And look, I don't want to race here. It's too difficult. No, it's too hard. I don't care if it's Formula One. It's too difficult. Well, let's just boycott the race then. What have the Dutch done to annoy people? What about Van Gogh? His paintings were confusing as hell. Well, have you got any better ideas of what we boycott for? Hey guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome back to Aussie Villain Racing Season 2. It's the Dutch Grand Prix. Last year, OCON, of course, took us out early in the race. And to be honest, he did us a favour because it wasn't looking like it was going to be particularly good. We've got a very short turnaround from last episode's Belgian Grand Prix where we did very, very nicely indeed. In fact, we've only got 2 days of activities, things we can do here. We can do some training that will improve the focus of sportsmen. We've got promo. We've got team building, and we've got another sponsor event. I think we're going to say that... Do we improve the focus of sportsmen? Let's do a sponsor event. So we'll do that. Let's go and have a look at facilities. Now, we do have 7 million in the bank. Now, what we do want to check first is... It's corporate, isn't it? We want to check driver contracts. His contract expires at the end of this race, basically. So we want to be... His focus is actually way, way down, isn't it? Even though he's rated 77 just now. So I want to make sure we've got 3 million in the bank to make sure we're keeping sportsmen. What do we want to do here, if anything? Is there any upgrade is going to be relatively pricey, isn't it? See, we don't want to do 6 million, 4 million, which would leave us 3.25. It's a little bit too close for comfort in case he ups his... what he wants. This would leave us with 4 million and the analyst suite. So let's tentatively say we're going to do that. Quality control, 4 million. I think that's actually maybe more important, isn't it, to reduce chances of upgrades not coming through. So that leaves us the 3 million. Yes, yeah, that leaves us the 3 million for sportsmen. Let's go back. Let's have a look at R&D. Now, progress, we do have one major development that should be through for this race, or is it the next one? You can see we're sitting at the progress history. We're closing in on the top ones, aren't we? The Mercedes is daylight ahead of everybody else, but we're closing in on the 3 ahead of us other than Mercedes. Now, let's have a look. We have 2,100 points that we can allocate. Where do we want to allocate it? Now, if we remember back to the last race, we were very much lacking a bit of downforce in those high-speed corners, weren't we? So I'm wondering if we look to do a major upgrade here on rear downforce. That will 20% chance of fail. That'll be in for the Russian Grand Prix. We've got back-to-back races coming up. Looks like we're in the middle of a triple header. So let's do that. It's a shame we don't have that for Italy, actually, because that could be useful for us there. That leaves us 800 or so points. Now, if we go and have a look at the powertrain, it's probably where we want to head next. I don't think there's any chassis upgrades to be had. We could do bearings, which is just a minor upgrade, or we could do this rotor speed, which is more battery power. That is, I think, what we want, but we're a little bit too short, so we can't get that just now. But I think we'll try and save our development points for that. Now, everything on this side of things is still looking relatively good, isn't it? So I don't think anything there needs to be replaced for this weekend. The gearbox has 2 races to go, but it's still looking fairly strong. Let's keep our fingers crossed for that. Sponsors have remained the same. Over contracts, we know that Sportsman is up at the end of this race. We'll be looking to keep him. I guess, again, if we go and have a look here, he is the best. He is the best driver. Anybody that's not in Formula 1 right now is not as highly rated as he is. To be honest, there's guys in Formula 1 that aren't as highly rated as he is. So, yeah, we just we stick with him till the bitter end, perhaps. Finances, we can see we've spent some money on the upgrade there, which means that our little ski slopes are on a downward spiral. And in terms of standings, as a reminder, 2 back-to-back stunning results has left us 9th in the drivers. Schwartzman's there 13th in the drivers. We're 6th in the constructors, only 3 points behind AlphaTauri. They become our big rivals now, don't they? Season results, we can see there some very good results for us recently. And if we have a look at trophies, last season we DNF'd at Zandvoort. Let's hope we can maybe look to get ourselves a point finish for this season. The rivalry with Alonso is looking very, very strong indeed, with just 3 races remaining. And driver details, average finish is now 13th, grid is 14th, and you can see we have set zeros and everything else except for that 1 pole position earlier this year in Canada. Let's go and sim through the week, and hopefully everything will go smoothly for us. There's the sponsor event.
Have completed without issue.
The intercooler's on the car, which means it's time to head off to Zandvoort. So our pre-race weekend messages, there's the track map if you're unfamiliar. The weather forecast, may be a little bit of rain at the end of qualifying and an overcast race, but expected to be dry. And the upgrades, this is as of what's expected. And, well, we can see there we are very much sort of on a land all of our own between Ferrari and Aston Martin, it looks like. So, as ever, I'm going to go and do free practice, and I will see you for qualifying, where it could be wet, it could be dry, but at the start it should be dry. Alright, free practice is done. We did sneak into the top 10 in FP3, though I usually am doing a qualifying sim at that point, and I suspect others maybe weren't. This is the most rapid track in the race, in the calendar, I'm sure, and even worse than Monaco. It just seems to keep coming at you. But anyway, let's head off to Q1. I suspect we might get out of Q1. Q2 will be the challenge for us, but well, we've got to get out of Q1 first. Alright, we're coming around to start what is actually our second lap. Did a 1:12.2 first time around. It's not going to be good enough, so we need to go again. You can see we've got the delta time there, so hopefully we'll be able to take some time off of that. Haven't taken that particularly well. Can we get a better exit though, perhaps? And considering we need to take time off what we've already done, suddenly Q2 looks a long way away. Oh, I missed that completely. It's this second sector where we lose a lot of time to everybody else. I've been working on it, but obviously it's not enough, and it's behind what we need to be. We're in some trouble here. I did mess up that last time a little bit. We've done better. I mean, we're a little bit quicker, but not by enough, is it? We're going to have to go again. And, yeah, we're in a bit of trouble here. We have moved up to P16, so that is something, I suppose.
We have 2 laps of fuel remaining.
Oh, that was not a good exit out of there at all. Snaking around all over the shop. Alright, so we've done better there. And we've done worse there, I'd say. Yeah, Zandvoort is not my friend, is it? Ah. Alright, so we do have a new set of tyres on, and this is it. Well, we'll probably be able to do one more lap. Oh, and I'm already behind. What is wrong? Alright, that seemed better. Not the best exit, though. And we're going to lose time all the way down here. We're in big, big trouble. Making a bit of time up here. I wonder if this chicane is where we can make up time. Good exit out of here. No, we're 2/10 down. Where's the time? I don't know where we're going to make this time up. We're going to have to go again. This is desperation. I don't know where the time is. We're P16. I think we're just sneaking through. But I can't seem to go any faster. And that's not going to help our cause. Almost dropped that there, well, that OCON corner. And we just seem to lack any sort of pace. I can't see if Schwartzman is ahead of us or not. Is it the car maybe that's just not quite at it? It's going to be a big final sector here.
We're expecting rain in around 10 to 15 minutes.
I don't think that's going to affect us, Jeff, and we binged it. Checkered flag isn't out yet. There's still time. Tyres are going to be rubbish. We don't have enough straight line speed coming onto the straight, and this is it. I just need to move the pedals closer to me. They have slipped away on the carpet. I wasn't expecting to be running for so many laps. So this is it. This is the lap. We're in P17, so that's out, isn't it, I think? Ah, oh, bad exit. We were up 2. I've gone in too deep. And that's us done. So Schwartzman has gone through in P11. So he's flying the flag for us here. I have no idea what we've done wrong there. Yeah, I mean, that final lap, if we'd been able to finish that, we finished 18th. But if we'd been able to do that final lap where we were that quarter of a second up, that would have been enough to push it through. But we were just way off the pace. So we've got a lot of work to do in this race. I mean, points, they just seem impossible, don't they?
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Perez, Charles Leclerc and Ricciardo, Gasly, Fernando Alonso, Schwartzman and Yuki Tsunoda, Norris, Ocon, Sebastian Vettel and Stroll, Russell, Sainz, Antonio Giovinazzi and Oldtimer, Raikkonen, Mick Schumacher, Mazepin and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track and get this Grand Prix underway.
Well, go on, Swartzy up there in 9th. That is wonderful stuff. What I should have done, what I've just realised now, is taking just engine penalties, because we're not scoring any points today, unlikely. Now, what I'm thinking we might do, though, here is Schwartzman might score points today. So we're going to invert our strategy. We're going to start on the mediums. We're going to move over to the softs. And what I'm hoping is that at some point we might have some people come out behind us, and we can kind of either hold them up and then let Schwartzman pass, you know, and kind of help him that way. So that's my rough plan here. So we'll go to lap 11. We could maybe even come in a little bit sooner than that, actually, because the softs look like they'll last not too badly. We'll be hanging on a little bit at the end, but let's even split the race 50-50 perhaps. No, it's maybe a little bit pushing it. So we'll come in at lap 10. And I think that is, yeah, 18 laps. So we'll come in just after the halfway point. And yeah, well, I don't see us doing much. Maybe we'll get a safety car and get lucky. The problem with the strategy we're doing is that if it's an early safety car, we'd have to pit for the hards, and that probably doesn't work either, does it? But anyway, let's hope that Schwartzman does something for us. All right, it's the Dutch Grand Prix. Hopefully, qualifying pace deserted us. We will have some race pace, though. Let's have a look at our start. We've got a decent one. Sainz is all over the place. We hit the back of him lightly. We have to lift. and that means everybody comes streaming past us, and we are 22nd of 22nd for a brief moment there, dead last. So yeah, this is not the start we wanted, is it? We switched to the outboard camera. Now if we can go round the outside here, we might be able to pick up a few. Looks like we have. Nicely done as we get, is that 2 Hassas, an Alfa Romeo perhaps is in there as well. So that is back to where we started, right? P18th, I think, is where we started. So we've got Raikkonen ahead of us now, Giovinazzi behind us. And we just need to try and settle in on the medium tyre. Unfortunately for us, it looks like most, if not all, of the cars around us, as we see Schwartzman up there running. What's he running right now? Up there in P8, nosebleed stuff for Robert Schwartzman. Yeah, it looks like everybody else, unfortunately, around us is also on the medium tyre. So that... we might have been better off starting on the softs and at least being different to everybody around us. But anyway, we're on the mediums now as we... well, we're in a train of cars. It's probably... hopefully Schwartzman is the head of that train and he'll hold everybody up and we'll pick them off one by one. As we come around, we've got an absolute glorious run compared to Raikkonen. No DRS, of course, only on the first lap. We go to the outside. We're on the battery as well, or the ERS. We go round the outside. Now, can we straighten the exit and get that done? I can't see Kimi yet. There he is. Give him a little bit of space, and that should be moved done as he drops in behind us. So that's P17. Next up is Carlos Sainz. Ooh, little bit squirrely on the exit there. And it's cost us all the way down this straight. Not the best traction out of that corner. We've done a green first sector, as you would expect, of course, given that the first lap was a standing start. But slightly worryingly, the train is driving away from us, so we've put them up a little bit there. It's just something about this track, isn't it, that doesn't quite either suit me or well, I can't say it's the car, because look where Schwartzman is. We're on the ERS again. We've just got to try and stay as close as we can, stay in DRS range. And, well, if we can get a good slingshot off the last corner, the banking there, we might be able to pick off a few cars like we did with Raikkonen down the front straight. But whether we are able to do that against all cars or just Alfa Romeos, I guess time will tell, won't it? We can see from the helicopter, we haven't made as much ground this time, have we? Although Sainz does have a pretty good slipstream off the back of Stroll there in the Aston Martin. So lap 3, that means of course DRS will be available to us at the end of this lap. When we get back around there, we go a little bit deep on the brakes. Can we get a good exit? No, not really. They drive away from us, don't they? Traction is maybe something we need to work on car development. Another green sector though, so that's positive. And yeah, just through this section we can see they're just driving away from us, aren't they? Now, can we bring it back again? We were right behind Sainz, weren't we, more or less? Oh, there's 2 DRS zones. This is a DRS zone here as well, isn't it? Forgot about that. So we do have DRS. We're in the old DRS train though here, aren't we? We're really good on the brakes coming into that chicane. That brings us right up to the back. So there's Stroll, and there's someone in front of Stroll as well. When we go out to the off-board camera with the bigger tower, we should be able to see who that is. It might be a Williams. We get on the DRS. Let's see what we're doing here. We're catching Stroll in the slipstream battery. Purple final sector. Can we get him up the inside?
5/10 per lap.
Oh, it wheels banging. And we just about sneak up the inside of Carlos Sainz. And that is going to be P6 in. It is George Russell that is in front of Stroll here. We go a little bit wide. And Sainz has a go to come back at us. And he will drop in politely, as he should. And be all over the back of us. Now, of course, this is the section of the track that we seem to really struggle at. We're not too bad once we get to this DRS zone, the first DRS zone. I'd say we're not too bad then till we get to probably the banking on that sort of weird loopy corner. Where Esteban Ocon corner, of course, from last season. But we've got to a decent spot here. And we've kept Sainz behind us now, hopefully. Although you can see we've not really dropped him, and he's coming back at us there. We've got the inside line. We should be able to show him. Oh, out. No. Oh, Jesus. We're lucky we haven't launched each other there. And he has thankfully backed out of it. And we go back down the straights, and it's as you were, despite a very, very close call there. So this is the beginning of lap 5. Now we're going to skip ahead to the beginning of lap 6. Coming into the hairpin, it's just kind of it's a train, basically, a DRS train. We can't get past Stroll. Sainz is behind us. And we go have a little look down the outside of Lance Stroll. We've gone a little bit deep, and that allows Sainz up the inside of us. So we've tried to gain a position, and we've lost one, which is just about how this race is going for us, isn't it, after qualifying? So we're back down in P17 again. And, well, again, through this part of the track, they just drive away from us. I mean, it's probably that part of the track is where all our qualifying time went, isn't it, really? It's just a shame we weren't able to make it up elsewhere. But DRS, we're still in the DRS zone. We'll see what we can do when we get to this strip. We're really, really good, aren't we? Compared to the other cars, when we get into that chicane there, it's a shame it's not a longer DRS, because we could really pick some cars off there, I think, otherwise. But here we go. Coming onto the main straight once again, another good slingshot. We appear to be really, really good off that last corner, don't we? Sainz covers to the inside. We go to the outside.
Okay, the car behind is catching you by 5/10 a lap. 5/10.
And oh, we banged wheels again. Sainz has the high ground this time, though. And we might just have to fall in line here. We'll try the Carlos Sainz line out of this corner. Is it any better for us? A little bit, you'd say, a little bit better, but certainly not great. And it's a red first sector there, as you can see. But hopefully I've learned a lesson from that, and we'll change our line, because we are definitely closer than we were. Now we've seen, we've gone a little bit deep there. We've seen that we're good under brakes coming into this chicane here. Now if we are that little bit closer, and it's not been a fantastic run onto this straight, and we're kind of back where we were. Now, can we close up again under the brakes? Yes, we can. You wonder if George Russell is the reason everybody's sort of having to check up behind him. Maybe he's he's definitely holding up the train, isn't he? Here we go again. Can we get another little bit wide there? But again, we've got the battery power, and again, we're absolutely rapid out of that last corner. We go to the outside of Carlos Sainz, a purple final sector, and we go to the inside and bang some wheels with Lance Stroll, and that was ambitious. Have a look from the outboard. It sort of wasn't a move it was just an opportunistic. Don't try not to crash almost, and we've managed to barge our way past. So elbows out, no damage. And that's P15 with George Russell in front of us. Now, of course, it's a little bit of a gap from George Russell to the next car, which is at the moment Sebastian Vettel. We're on lap 8, so pit stops for the soft runners should start shortly. Because we were going to do lap 9, I think, weren't we? At the start when it had starting on softs, so you'd imagine everybody's going to be roughly in that same boat. Looks like Carlos Sainz managed to get his way past Stroll as well in my assault of him. We jump back on board, late on the brakes. Oh, and Russell. Oh, and again, we're pushing him through the corner. Want to be careful not to do any damage to the wing there, but we're very, very close. And given our form of this last corner, this should be, with no DRS for Russell, quite simple. He's on the hard tyre as well as he knows on the medium. And that is as easy as you like. We breeze past him, and that is now P14. And we're halfway through this race. So we're going to skip ahead now to lap 10 and the pit stop.
Well, it's been a fun race so far, even if we're nowhere near points really. But we'll put on the softs, and who knows, maybe even a fastest lap. Though that is the definition of ambitious.
We're racing on the exit. Complete. Go now. Pit strategy complete.
But yeah, you can see Carlos Sainz is going with us. He's still right behind us. Let's see where we blend back out, and we're back behind George Russell. On the soft tyres, which Russell will be on, of course, as well. Now, we did pick him off relatively comfortably at the end of the last stint. Hopefully, we'll be able to do something similar here, but being undercut is frustrating, to say the least, isn't it? But of course, no one holds us up through here. We are, for whatever reason, it's high-speed corners, isn't it? We just don't quite seem to have it. through the high-speed stuff. Now, if we can stay close through here, could we get a bit of DRS? We've got Stroll and Sainz are behind us. So we basically just picked up where we left off. Looks like Sainz got undercut by Stroll as well. Can we have a look at Russell into the chicane? No, not quite close enough. But of course, we know we've got the second DRS zone coming up down the main straight, and we're a little bit further back than we'd like. But, we're an absolute rocket off this last corner. Is that going to continue on the softs? It looks like it is. Into the DRS zone we come, into the slipstream, up the inside, almost, maybe even brushing the wall. But he left the car width, we took the car width, and on we go. We're going to skip ahead now to lap 16. We have closed down the gap to Esteban Ocon. So Russell is about 2 seconds behind us, and we are about a second behind Ocon as we enter Ocon corner, of course. So 3 laps to go. What can we do here? Now ahead of Ocon, you can see another second or so. There is Vettel, Alonso, and then Tsunoda in the points, all being held up by none other than Robert Schwartzman. So Schwartzy, if we get on the radio to Schwartzman, maybe just try and back everybody up a little bit for us, we might be able, ambitiously, although with 3 laps to go, it's unlikely, isn't it? But it's just teasing us. It's been a really enjoyable race, I've got to say. I've really enjoyed this one. And I've actually started to enjoy the track as well. It's one of those that you've just really got to get into the zone.
So we meet again, Esteban.
Yes, we do. Of course, if you didn't see it last season's race here, he drove into the back of us and put us both in the wall. So, not on my Christmas card list, but we're very close coming out of that last corner. He's on a hard tyre, so he should be absolute bread and butter down the straight. He tries to block us. We're just far too fast for him. And that, with 2 laps to go, is P13, with Vettel, Alonso, Tsunoda ahead of us. Now, we are on the soft tyre, of course. Looks like a lot of them are as well. Vettel is anyway. I would imagine Schwartzman would have qualified on the soft, so he's going to be on a harder compound. When we jump on board again, we might be able to see what Vettel and Alonso are on. I don't know if it'll go as... It looks like they were all red sidewalls, didn't it, as we kind of flashed past there. DRS zone incoming as we're about to come onto the final lap. It's going to be... we're going to fall just short here, aren't we? We're absolutely flying. We must be the fastest car on the track, certainly outside of the leaders. Another green sector, right up to the back of Vettel. Go on, Schwartzman. Hit up into the back of Vettel again. We just seem to have more pace through those slow corners, don't we? Now, can we get a good slingshot out of the final corner here? We've not got the best exit, have we? You can see they all drove away from us, but we've got an absolute rocket ship. We're like Hamilton at Brazil. We just fly.
Final lap of the race.
So, as you heard there, this is the final lap. Alonso is on the mediums. Can we go around the outside of 2? That would be something. We're coming up to Esteban Ocon turn here. I think it was there, roughly, somewhere, wasn't it? We look to go around the outside briefly. We could see 10th. And we go wall to wall with, of course, our rival, let's not forget, Fernando Alonso. We just can't quite find a way past. And you wonder if that is the end of 10th spot. We really needed to be behind Tsunoda, didn't we, coming into the chicane. And really giving it everything, and absolutely as fast as this will go. There's no point finishing 11th or 12th. You finish 10th or you don't finish. Go a little bit wide, just trying to straighten the exit. And this is it. We have to get Alonso here and then hope to get a rocket launch. We go for it. We late on the brakes. We make the apex. What a move that is. And that is 10th in front of us. Can we go and get this? He's got a little bit of a gap. We go in too deep. No, wide. Alonso has a look. He can't get past us. Back on board. It's a rocket. Here we go. Here we come. DRS, the battery, the slipstream, and we have fallen short.
All right, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again.
Oh, I was so close. Do I get half a point or something? I don't care if I was driver of the day. Do I get a point for that? Oh, just give me something. Oh, 1/100th of a second, or one tenth of a second. And, we will see in the end it was Schwartzman who was holding everybody else up for us. And, yeah, just maybe got a little bit silly on the last lap. We were dive bombing everyone, and in the end I just went a little bit too deep, didn't I? And yeah, if we'd taken that corner better, I think if we got a better entrance into that last corner, a better exit, we probably would have got Tsunoda. We may have even got Schwartzman, you know. There's only 0.3 of a second between us and him as well. But a cracking race. I don't know how that came across for you guys. I really, really enjoyed that, I've got to say. Yeah, really, really enjoyed it. If we have a look at the standings, it hasn't changed too much for us. We're still sitting there in 9th. And constructors, look at Schwartzman getting the job done for us. And the gap to AlphaTauri has extended out. That is because, obviously, Tsunoda got a point. It would have been good, obviously, just in terms of our constructors' battle with AlphaTauri to get the point. But you can see in 7th there was Pierre Gasly. So AlphaTauri win this round, but we'll be back. And there we go. So we should have beaten Alonso, I think, overall in the rivalry now. No, not quite, but just about there. Of course, the benefit to that last lap heroics, let's call it, was that we did beat Alonso. Our claim has gone up as well, so we're now level 14 there, which is good. And is the team going to go up as well to level 18? Yes, it is. But guys, that'll do it for today. If you've enjoyed that, make sure you hit thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. Like I say, it wasn't a great race in terms of points for us, or for me personally, but a race hopefully was as entertaining for you as it was for me to drive. We'll be back next time. I think the Italian Grand Prix is up next. Now, given the speed that our car appears to have in a straight line, that could be a memorable race for us. But until next time, guys, I've been Aussie Villain. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.